Hello, I am Sarah and I have made this video for those of you who are attending the Beginners Indigo and Shibori dyeing workshop with Little Japanese Haberdashery. To prepare for your beginning workshop, you only need to prepare for 2 pieces. Your first piece is the ombre piece and your second is the mokume piece. So the items that you will need to do these 2 is your thread that came in with your kit, your needle, sewing needle that came with the kit, as well as a pair of sharp pointed scissors, a pencil for marking the fabric, your guide that came in your preparation kit, and your 2 pieces of fabric. So your square for your ombre and your rectangular one for your mokume. So once you have all those, we can start with the first one, which is your ombre piece. Your first piece in preparation for your beginner's workshop, you will need to have one of your square pieces, a double threaded string with a thick knot at the end. And basically what I need you to do is divide your block up into 10 lots, so 10 lines all the way down. It doesn't matter if you do it this way or if you do it this way, it doesn't matter at all. So in the middle, well, you know the middle is going to mean 5 because that's halfway through. So, and all you're doing is just marking. There is nothing special or anything about this. It's just to make it easier for you when you do this project. So I just put the needle through, tie it, and then tie a knot. And I've made that very, very long. Doesn't need to be like that at all. So that's my first tie, and it's a good idea to actually do it both sides, really only because it will help you with the dyeing, but you actually don't have to do it. So again, tie on the other side, which would be mark number 5. And then you know these bits is going to be divided into 5 lots. So it's a little bit frizzy, but like I said to you, you are just doing it roughly. 1, 2, 3. 4th one's just a bit short. And like I said, it's rough, it doesn't matter. So by folding these lines and marking it really well, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. So I will mark these. So I need to rethread my needle and put a tie there, and repeat on the other side if I want to, and then repeat the same process on this side where we're folding approximately that width, because we know from that experience it works. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I mark it. So I now have my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 marks there of my lines, and I'll then stitch the knots onto there, same on the other side, and then that piece is finished. And then you can go on to your mokume piece. With this piece here, this is your mokume piece. What I want you to do is have all your tools here. Your fabric piece is going to be a bit longer than this. Done for you. Put it over your piece, trying to keep it straight as possible, because you want it to be straight right across your piece. So with a pencil, I want you to mark right down the side of the paper, and then continue to the bottom. You'll most likely need to move your fabric and make sure it matches up for your previous marks, and straighten along the edge so you have a straight piece, and continue marking. The next thing that you do is realign your markings. You might want to use paper clips or sticky tape, anything to keep it still for you. And with your pencil again, mark all the way straight across your fabric where the dots are. You will need to move your fabric along again. All you need to do is align all your markings and then repeat. And so on. You repeat this again for down here as well. You might actually just want to mark them all and then you move the paper. It doesn't matter. The thing is that you just need to mark the paper. These lines you follow all the way along. So with your piece, the easiest way of doing this is with your thread, thread out the length of your piece twice, and then another sort of roughly 10 centimeters each side. So I put the thread through the needle. It needs to be double and a really good thick knot at the end. That is to prevent your thread pulling out through when you're doing your dyeing. The other reason why we always double it is that if you do have a breakage, which is common, you start where your dot is that we talked about here. The main thing is that you always start on the same side when you do the same piece. So for example, this piece, if I start up here with my very first dot from the top, I will do that with all of them. So doing that, I pierce through that first one and then up through the second, down this one and up this one. And I repeat that all the way to the other end of the piece of fabric. That is all I'm doing there. And so pretend I'm at the other piece. I pull it through and I keep it all open. And then I cut my end there and I make a nice thick knot to make sure it doesn't pull back through. And I repeat that again, starting from the same as I did with all my other ones, from the top going down. Okay, so pretend that you have done all your straight stitches along here like I showed you. Now with the blank bits that I was pointing out earlier, this and further down, what I want you to do is creative stitching. So I would like you to stitch how you would naturally stitch. Some people would stitch really big stitches, some do really small stitches. So again, you start from the top and you might want to do really small stitches for one block, making sure you continue on a straight line all the way across. You might want to, for this block, you might want your stitches to be much wider or really thin. For this block down here, you might actually want to do zigzag stitches or random size stitches. So it doesn't really matter. You do what you would like to do. And I do suggest, if you want to have each block a different style, just so when you do dye this, you can see the difference in doing those different styles compared to, say, doing exactly perfect grid ones.